Wake up there.
Phew.
Wake up.
It's
I'm going to have to get my fly swatter after you.
Don't get the fly swatter.
Oh, no.
It's
Okay.
so warm and cozy in here on this afternoon.
And how long has it been since you said, oh, it's so hot in here?
It wasn't long ago.
Hasn't been that long ago.
It's so cozy. I can
Yes,
just take a nap
it
right
is,
now.
yes. And, one thing, it's quiet in the building.
Mm-hmm.
And our fountain is not running this afternoon, the waterfall. And notice how quiet it is in the building.
You don't realize how much you depend on the sound of that fountain until it's not there.
And it blocks
Yeah.
out so much excess noise. I
It
mean,
does.
if you're trying to
It
work
does.
at your desk, it kind of keeps things private.
It's kind of,
So-
but it's kind of odd.
Yeah,
Just
it
to
is.
hear this afternoon.
Eerie silence. There's nobody in the building now except Terry and Jimmy and I, and it's just really silent.
It is. It is.
Everybody's gone. We've had let's see, how many volunteers did it take today to keep it going here? Let's see. We had 2 in the women's shower facility, and then we had 4 in the clothing closet, right?
Correct. Yep, that's 6.
And that's 6. And then we had
4 over here.
4 over here, plus you and me,
That's 10.
plus you and me is 12.
12, yep.
And the constable was 13. And then did you count Mikey?
Did not.
14. So
And Terry now,
15.
Yep.
So it's taken 15 volunteers working in the building today. And that's not counting people who have stopped by and whatever. This is just the ones who have spent between the 3 buildings that we have here, taking 15 people just to keep it going.
Just to keep it going. A lot of ministry going on.
We'd be considered a small business, wouldn't we?
Something like that.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. But, yep, it does. It takes a lot of people to keep everything going.
Yes, it does.
And it was going good today. It was busy, yet it was calm, organized.
Yes.
Everybody got what they needed.
Yes.
And it was a good day.
It was a very good day.
Yes, it was.
And I want to say a word of thanks to Constable Dwayne and the other constables who serve.
Yes.
Because they really make a difference. They get to know the people. They know their names. They joke with them. They laugh. They have a good time. And I watch the folks go by, even on Saturday when we're having worship. If Dwayne's at the door, they'll come by and give him a high five
Yeah,
or a fist bump,
right.
even if they're not coming in for worship.
Yeah.
They welcome their presence on the street. So
That's true.
That's a good thing.
Right. We appreciate that,
Good
too.
community interaction.
Yep. Well, let's welcome everybody.
Yeah, oh,
they
yeah.
They may not know what they're
Oh,
watching
we
tonight.
forgot. Yeah, who are you?
I don't know.
This is Pastor Will, and
Jimmy,
we're in beautiful Studio Michelle in
downtown, beautiful Kingsport.
Tennessee for the world famous Will and
Jimmy Show.
That's it, Will and Jimmy Show.
That's us.
So you're watching us, and what you see is what you get.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. But anyway, and we are going to have a very special guest
Yeah.
a little bit later
Yeah.
today. So you've got 1 full hour of the Will and Jimmy Show tonight.
You do.
Exactly. You've
Yep.
got an hour,
Yep.
60 minutes.
Yep.
And so go get your popcorn now. Get your
Or something.
Dr. Enough or your Dr. Pepper or whatever your favorite beverage is, and sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Right.
good time. We got a lot of information to share with you.
Yes, we do.
Let's start off with something good.
Good.
You've got something there in front
I
of
do.
you. And this is no better way to start the show tonight.
This mail came in today, and it had an address of a prison facility not too far from here in another state, and had the inmate's name on the outside. And I thought, well, from time to time we get these letters from institutions, usually asking if we can help them in some way, or, pleading for something to help them, maybe early release or whatever. But this one, when I opened it up, I want to share it with you, because this gentleman didn't ask for anything except to say thank you. And I will blur out his name, but I remember him very well. But he says, Pastor Will, hello, I hope you remember me. And he gave his name, the one that used to wash windows downtown and did odd jobs. I hope you're good. I seen in the paper all the great things you're doing. I'm locked up and he told me the name of the jail. I've been locked up since 2019. I'm trying to change my life. It's so hard. I don't have any family left. They have passed on. I'm trying to change on my own. I knew you would do great things for the less fortunate. Thank you for being someone I can look up to. Take care and be safe, and God bless you. And then he sent a little back cover on like a church bulletin that talks about the touch of the Master's hand. And he said, I hope you like this, Pastor Well. And you've heard that, haven't
Yes,
you?
yeah.
About the old
The
violin
and the oxygen.
in the hand of the Master's. And then at the bottom, he said, I thought you might like this. And he signed his name. And I treasure that because,
Sure.
you know, he had to really be thinking about us. And just to say thank you at this season of Thanksgiving. So thank you. Should I call his first name?
Sure.
His name is Daryl.
Yeah.
So God bless you, Daryl. And we will remember you in our prayers. You know, think about it, 2019. He was locked up before the pandemic. And think of all the changes
Goodness.
in our world.
What a different world it is now.
Yeah, 6
than it was.
years.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
God bless you, and we're here. And I hope that when you do get out, you'll be able to make your way back here and come and see us and come and worship with us.
Right.
Right?
And it just shows, you know, being kind is so important. That's really all you have to do is be kind.
Exactly.
And just a kind word. Treat everybody like humans.
Yeah.
And don't look down upon anybody. Don't judge anybody for their situation, their choices, their mistakes. And he's remembered that.
Right. Well, Michael at Hunger First has that phrase. What is it?
Humans being human.
Humans being human. And that's the bottom line. I mean, really, that's it.
And it shows 6 years later. I'm not aware that we've heard from him in the last 6 years.
I have not heard from him since he's been gone, and maybe even sometime before he left.
And
So,
who knows what all he's been through
Yeah.
in that time.
Right.
Yet he still remembers to thank Shades
Right.
of Grace. And we get these letters, not too often, but you're right. A lot of times it's from people we don't know, and they're requesting, you know, clothing.
Right.
I remember we got one, and it was very specific. What he wanted, a specific brand of cowboy boots.
Cowboy boots. I remember that.
Wrangler tight-fitting jeans, an Atlanta Braves cap, or an Alabama football cap. You know, and just a
And
big
we sent
long
it to
list.
him, didn't we?
Not that one.
Oh,
no,
that's a
no, we
different
didn't
one.
have this stuff.
Okay.
No,
well,
but
I
we have
remember
seen
one
stuff.
of them. One of our members actually went out and purchased
Yes,
what he wanted
that was a
and
different
sent
one.
to the jail.
Yeah, that was a different one.
That was a different
Yeah,
one.
but we get those requests. You know, you never know what we're going to
No,
get.
you never know. But I do know that, as Mikey says, this one is authentic
Right.
because I know him and I remember him. So I was glad to receive that today.
Yep, that's a good thing to get.
Yes.
It always makes you feel good to
Yes,
get that
it
kind of
does.
stuff. Yep.
And for every one of these that we get, I'm sure there's a whole lot more that are never put in the mailbox.
And you never know, he may be telling somebody about Shades of Grace, and years later that person may get out and
Right.
come to this place and introduce themselves, and it's
Right.
happened before.
Yes, it has.
I've heard about this place. So, yeah. Anyway,
That's
but we got a lot going on, don't we?
Yes,
had
we
a
do.
really good weekend, a great Saturday morning service, such fantastic music.
It was great.
Quinn's was so good,
Oh, it
she
was
had
so
to do it twice.
It was so nice. We had to hear it twice.
That's
Pastor.
right.
That song, that's Jesus Is.
Yes.
Beautiful
Yeah.
song.
Now,
And then Landon did a new one.
he did. Can I tell you? Can we talk about the Jesus Is
Yes,
that I shared with you? I
please.
didn't share this with him.
All
but,
right.
I don't know what 6 weeks ago or so. I guess maybe 2 months ago, our Saturday or Sunday afternoon service got shut down by Facebook because of copyright infringement, and it got shut down. I had to take it real quick, edit this one song out that was copyrighted, and re-upload it like 6 o'clock that evening. Well, guess what song that was? It was Jesus Is. And I was not going to say anything to Quinn about it. I said, Lord, it's into your hands. And then you asked, and then I thought, well, maybe I can just cut it out and we won't have to worry about it. You asked her to sing it twice. And I'm sitting up there thinking, well, there's no way I'm going to be able to make that happen. And I prayed really hard because it was something that people needed to hear.
Yes, they did.
twice.
And I don't
And-
normally ask someone to repeat a song.
I don't know that you've ever
I don't
done
think
that
I've ever done
since
that.
I've been here. And I just prayed, Lord, just let this go through. And I'll admit, I sit at home watching on my computer, kind of biting my nails, ready for a plan B. But hey, it didn't happen this time. So, give God thanks for
Yes.
that, because that's a huge thing.
Yes.
And it was such a good song. Just all the music was great. Landon's songs were great. And I know that Quinn's got another good one lined up for
this week. Yes.
And this is a special service coming up. This is going to be our Thanksgiving service. And we've got some special things going on for that are still in the works. But it's going to be good.
And can I interrupt? And
Yeah.
You can prepare right now. We are going to be having the sacrament of Holy Communion. And this is typically something that is done within community in the body of Christ. We don't celebrate private communion services, but we were given permission during the pandemic to offer communion to folks online. And our congregation has grown so large into the many thousands of people since then that we are gonna be having communion. And I would invite you to get you some grape juice or wine and some crackers or a little piece of bread. And when the time comes, have communion with us. You can do that virtually. Because, they're even asking us now to add our numbers of attendance, including virtual attendance.
Correct.
So
Right.
the world is changing, but if we can offer God's grace virtually, then who could find fault with that? So try to do that on Sunday.
Do you remember when we did that during the shutdown, during the pandemic? We did a communion service.
I remember doing
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
but I don't remember the results.
You wore the robe.
Yes, I
And
did.
we
Okay.
had the big loaf of bread.
Yes.
And we recorded it and did it virtually. And we advertised it a week or two prior to it so people could, like you just said,
Right.
be prepared, because we couldn't meet in person.
Right.
And I think we were able to do with a few people on the street that day, earlier that
Right.
day. But times have really changed.
Yes.
And I mean, a lot of good
Yes.
has come out
Yes.
of this. Like you said, our virtual congregation is bigger than I could have ever imagined.
Well,
it would
and
be.
tell them what you were telling me earlier today about the languages.
Yes. So all those who subscribe on YouTube, thank you. We're over 200 subscribers now. And as you get more subscribers and you get more views totaled up, they start unlocking features. So we have reached a point, I don't remember how many hundreds of videos we have on YouTube now, but we've reached a point where they've unlocked the feature of audio dubbing. Now, what does that mean? That means that our YouTube videos will have the option to have up to 7 different, translated into 7 different languages as you watch those. And that depends on what country you're in. So if you're in, say, South Africa, and you're watching on YouTube, it will automatically convert your language into your language into their language. And that should start within the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
So that is very exciting. Talking about reaching a whole new group of
It
people.
is,
So
yes.
if we could get up more subscribers on YouTube, we get even more features and reach even more people. And I like YouTube for a couple of reasons. I know it's maybe not as convenient and user friendly as Facebook. I think people are more used to Facebook, but the quality is so much better on YouTube, both the video and the audio. And people who watch us on Sunday, and they've told me that, hey, we watch that on our TV on YouTube, and it's just like you're watching, ESPN or something. The quality is so good. Facebook compresses it, and it's different. And then also, you don't have the shutdown issues with YouTube like you do with Facebook. So if for some reason our video was to ever shut down on Facebook, it's still going on YouTube.
Right.
And you can switch over. So if you're not familiar with YouTube and you want to be familiar with it, reach out to me. I will. It's simple. Once you register one time, you don't have to do it again.
So you'll register specifically for Shades of Grace.
Well, you have to register like with your email address
Okay.
one time, and then you subscribe to our page, and you'll get notifications anytime that we do something live on YouTube.
See, I've never registered for that. I've
Right.
always thought about it.
Right.
but
So
I just
and that
haven't.
that right there shows like where you're not registered on YouTube, if you watch our service, we don't know. You're not counted as a viewer because you're not.
But we are counted on YouTube.
on
I mean,
Facebook.
on Facebook. Yeah,
right.
Facebook.
So our YouTube, it's growing. It's growing slow, but it's definitely growing. I mean, 2 years ago, we hit 100. And one of our special guests tonight received that award. He was our 100th YouTube subscriber.
That's right.
Remember
That's
that?
right.
And that's been like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I hope he's still got that hanging up in his office. I bet he
Yes.
does. But yeah, so if you have questions about that, and just try it. I'm not trying to take anybody off of Facebook, but just try it sometime. Even if you don't do it live, go back and watch it again. And there's another plus to YouTube. Months ago, Facebook deleted all of our old videos. And now our services, once they're 30 days old, they automatically get deleted. It's not the case with YouTube. They're still there. So you can go back and watch anytime. And it is on the agenda. I promise I'm working on it to get some of the older services uploaded to YouTube. It just takes that little thing called time.
Right.
But we will get there to go back and share some of those services. And even memorial services. Those are important to preserve.
Sure.
Because we get calls here often and says, hey, my mother passed away 5 years ago. I was incarcerated,
Right.
didn't live in the area, just now found out about it.
Right.
Do you have a link to that service? Yes, we do. Here, you can, they can.
Well, Jimmy,
part of that
somebody
service.
called me. We were getting ready to do the burial at Emmanuel. I don't think I told you. And were you off that Friday, or were you?
No, I was here.
You were here.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they may have called me on my cell number. But it was a gentleman who just had found out that his sister had passed away almost 4 years ago and had been buried. He just had found out that week, 2 weeks ago, that his sister was buried at Emmanuel, and it happened almost 4 years ago.
Really?
And as I talked
Wow.
with him, I told him he would have to talk to the funeral home, get the specifics. There's no way that I can open anything like that. That has to be handled through the cemetery. He wasn't wanting to have her body removed, but he just wanted to know more about where she was. But I tried to pray with him, and I encouraged him, because even though she'd been dead almost 4 years, in his mind, she had just died that day, because that's
he
the
just
first time
found
he
out.
heard about it.
Right.
And so he was in grief, and I prayed with him. And, there are very few cases like that where people years later have discovered that they have a loved one that had been unclaimed in the years of their death, and have suddenly, somewhere, someone found out that they had passed away and were buried there.
Yep.
So-
And this year we did something a little different. We ran an ad
Yes.
in the Times News. We couldn't really run an obituary. We had to run more of an ad,
Right.
informing of the service, the time, the date, and then we were able to put all the names
Right.
of the persons who were being buried that day. So therefore, if you did a Google search of that name, an obituary may not come up because there might not be one. Most
Right.
likely there's not.
Exactly.
But you would see that they were buried there, and they can reach out to us. And
Right.
that's happened many times. And there's a Trinity Memorial Funeral Home West does a website. I think it's the Matthew2016project.com.
Yeah.
And it's kept up to date, and it has a list of each name and the dates of when they were buried. And I referred back to that website to find, I remember the name, but I found the name, the date, then went back and found the video and sent the link to, this was her stepson.
Okay.
And he had they were kind of estranged family, and he had just found out. And this one was like 5 years ago,
Yeah, I
5 or 6
remember
years
that,
ago. And
Yeah.
he was messaged back and said he received the video and thank you for doing the service. He was very impressed with all that Shades of Grace does. And he didn't live, I believe he was in Texas, if I remember correctly. So,
Well, Diane Sims Rogers, one of our faithful virtual participants, who sends the little stuffed toys
she does.
to you,
Yep.
and shares the good news of God's grace through social media, had texted me when we did the burials on this year, and mentioned that her husband's late brother, I believe it was a brother to her husband, had lived somewhat nomadic lifestyle in the southern states, and had ended up in Florida a number of years ago, and had passed away. No one at that time was able to identify him or locate any family members. And they'd received a phone call, I think maybe years later. Diane, if you're watching it, you can let us know. But quite a while later, the family heard from someone in Florida that he had passed away and been given a Christian burial. And she said that meant more to them than you can imagine, that even though they didn't know about it, no one knew how to contact family members, that a group of Christians, a congregation somewhere, took care of him and gave him an honorable burial. So,
Yes.
you know, you never know who's going to find out about this.
Right. That's true. And you never know who it is. I mean, everybody that's buried there is a loved person.
By someone.
By someone somewhere. Whether it be a family, a friend, a coworker.
Right.
We've had coworkers
Yes.
show up before.
Yes.
Say I read in the obituary, and I used to work with him years ago.
Right.
And they show up to pay their respects for their old friend.
Yes.
So everyone there
Everyone
is
is
somebody's
important.
child.
Yes.
Maybe somebody's brother, sister, mother, father. So it's important to do. And thank you again. I don't say thank you enough to the community for how you always show up in your support.
Oh, this, I
of
think,
these
was the
services.
largest crowd we've had to date
Sure.
at the annual community.
Yeah, like 65 or so, I think,
Yeah.
is what we had
Yeah.
attend. So thank you all for doing
Yes,
that.
thank
And
you
then
so much.
we had a lot join us virtually too when we played it on Sunday. So
Yeah.
thank you for that too. And a lot of stuff still going on. Tomorrow is a big day.
Okay,
You know,
yes.
Tomorrow's movie day. The Great Turkey Town Miracle
Right.
is what we're showing tomorrow.
Just in time for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Gobble,
And,
gobble,
We'll
gobble.
have some good pizza and all that good stuff.
Yes.
So you still got a few hours to invite somebody to come and join us tomorrow. Movie starts at 2. Come a little bit early so you can have your snack, get you a good seat, and let's really pack the
Yeah,
house
yeah.
tomorrow.
Come on out, get
Yep.
you some Fox's pizza, some popcorn, a cold Dr. Enough, or a cold soft drink, cold bottle of water. And I hate to disappoint you, but I don't think we're going to have any dill pickle ice cream or any turkey flavored milkshake.
We try.
But I don't think we'll have that, but we will have some excellent pizza from Fox's Pizza Den.
Fox's Pizza is great.
Yes.
You know, I had never had it all that much before we started doing these events.
Right.
But it's a great place.
Yes, it
Highly
is.
recommend.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this Saturday, like we talked about earlier, is our Thanksgiving service.
Thanksgiving service.
So come and be a part of that. And a lot of people are joining us by video, and we're going to have a little special presentation
Yes.
of that too.
Along
So,
with Holy Communion and some great music and a good message. So it's going to be good.
Yep. And
Yes.
then next week is Thanksgiving.
Next
Already.
week is Thanksgiving on Thursday, a week from tomorrow. Can you believe it?
No.
And then the next day that we come to church on Saturday, we're already into Advent.
Advent.
Is
right.
that possible?
It doesn't seem that way, but it is.
Already into the season of Advent, which means 4 weeks till Christmas.
Yeah.
It's just around the corner.
Maybe it's that we're getting older, or I'm getting older, and it just doesn't feel that way anymore.
Well-
I don't know. It's just odd. And
Well,
it's
you
supposed
just
to-
haven't gotten stuck in a chimney lately.
No, I don't. I may not get stuck anymore. Maybe, but we've got some cold weather maybe coming, and we
Yes.
were talking about that. If the
They're talking like
Big
after
cold.
Thanksgiving, it's gonna. So just watch the weatherman or woman closely and see what's coming down the pike.
Yep. And a few people have asked about our coat rack. We've had a couple
Yes.
people call. I figure we'll address that a little bit tonight. We have brought the coat rack in
Yes.
temporarily. Now the temperatures have rose. It's been tolerable.
Right.
But once the temperatures drop again, we will put it back
Yes,
out.
we
And we
will.
are still stocking coats up.
Yes.
So if you have a donation that you would like to bring, go ahead and bring that to us of coats, jackets, and we're going to keep them aside,
Right.
Because it's going to get cold.
Yes.
There's
Winter
no way
hasn't
around it.
started yet.
No.
So actually, and one thing, if you can, please encourage others also. Do not leave clothing items on the sidewalk if we
Please.
are closed, if the building is not open, and especially if they're not in a bag or a box or a container. I know the intentions are good, but that can become real messy real quick, and things scattered in the sidewalks and streets, and It's just, it's a problem. So please make sure we're here.
It winds up being wasted.
Yes.
It doesn't help anybody.
Right.
A lot of times one person will come and take the whole bag.
Yeah, they will.
And it winds up being, like you said, down the street or in the garbage.
Go around the corner, dump it all out, pick out 1 or 2 items, and leave the rest in the middle of the street. That's
Right.
what happens.
Yes.
So I hate to burst your bubble, but
Yeah.
that's just make sure, call ahead. We'll come out to the car, pick it up from the car. Just try to work with us if you can, because it's going to be a long, cold winter, and we need to preserve our resources and our strength as much as we can. Yeah.
And then right after Advent begins, we have our Shades of Grace International 5th anniversary coming up.
That's right. Yes.
And then turn right around, and we are going to have our Christmas celebration for the folks here at Shades of Grace. More details will come out here very soon. We're still in the preparing phase of that, but it's going to be tied in with our movie.
Yes.
And
And that's for next month.
Next for December, and we're going to have some good surprises for everyone who attends.
All the
Everybody.
people in the unhoused community, they're going to be our special guest for the day. Now, you're invited.
Of course.
Everyone can come to the movies. It's our free gift to the community. But we're especially going to be catering to our unhoused community and the people in the streets who maybe has nobody to celebrate with this year. So it's going to be our day of kind of lavishing kindness a little bit extra upon them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am too.
So we've got a date in mind, and we just got the hardest part, picking out the movie.
Well,
What is it going to be?
you've done a good job
There
so
are
far.
so many great Christmas movies to choose from.
Yeah.
It's hard to just narrow it down to one. We could just do the Charlie Brown Christmas and be done with it.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. Just a
Yeah.
little short, though. But we always try to pick something that maybe people haven't seen before.
Right.
A new experience, and I think we've definitely done that
Yes.
for this month with the Turkey Town Miracle. But if you have any suggestions for a Christmas movie, maybe something that a lot of people haven't seen, reach out to me and let me know, because I'm definitely up to suggestions on this. Because if you're not able to attend these movies in person, whether you don't live in the area or a lot of people have work schedules that kind of interfere with that. But I can't tell you how much the people from the streets come in and enjoy
They do,
these
yes.
movies. And, I mean, they are locked on the screen. And I don't think that there has been a movie yet that we've had that there's not been applause at the end.
At the end,
That they
yes.
have enjoyed it so much.
Yes.
It's such a good time to spend together with these people.
You
Get
know,
to know them better.
I'm interrupting you
No, you're
because I
good.
know our time is getting
I know,
away.
yeah, we're running
away. This winter, when we get some really cold days
Mm-hmm.
and we need the folks to be able to come inside, why don't we pick out some movies like Home Alone, Home
Yeah.
Alone 2,
Yeah.
something, and just some of those good old classics, and just play them as people come in. They can warm up and enjoy that.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
We have Netflix,
Right.
and we pay for the license to be able to
So,
show those movies,
yeah.
so we can show whatever we
Yeah.
want to show.
That's good.
That's a good
All right.
idea.
And I wanted to say thank you to Jeffrey Kaiser
Yes, Jeff.
for doing a warming bus. What a unique and wonderful idea.
Yes.
And we are supporting that financially. And if you'd like to, let us know how, or get in touch with us so we can tell you more about that ministry. But
And I
there
know
will be ways and means for the people to stay warm.
Jeff has been really good to work with us.
Yes.
And other ministries, other pastors here in the area that I've
Yes.
talked to. When there's someone who's out in the cold that needs an emergency place to stay, they send the bus or the van right out to get them and make
Yes,
sure they
yes,
have
they
a
do.
warm place to
Yes.
stay at night.
Yeah.
And that is
So-
so important. So anyway, I need to quit gabbing.
Go ahead.
No,
Oh.
that's I said I was being serious. I really need to stop because we're running out of time.
We are, yeah.
If we want to leave time for our special, not one special guest,
We've got
two.
2 for the price of 1
Two.
tonight.
One of these folks has been a special
Yes,
guest
yes,
before, but the other hasn't.
Yeah.
So it's going to be good. You're
It
going
is.
to enjoy this. So hang
So come
tight.
on out Saturday morning, church. The doors open at 9:30. Music starts at 10 o'clock and worship begins at 10:30. And we're excited about what God is doing in our midst,
We are.
in our community, as we are moving ever so closer to celebrate Emmanuel, God with us.
Yes. Got a little taste of the Christmas music this past Saturday.
Yes, we did.
You did. You
Yeah.
sure did.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, folks, for joining us stay tuned, get nice and comfortable because the show's just starting.
It's still not over. Go back, go take that restroom break and get another swig from the old bottle.
Whatever.
Whatever it takes, okay? Good night,
Good night.
everybody. We love you. God loves you. And it's going to be all right.
Yes. Good night.
Thank you for joining us for the Will and...
Jimmy Show.
Hold on right now. 1, 2, 3. Or should there be 3, 2, 1?
Boom.
Okay, everybody. We told you that we have a special guest, but I lied to you. We have 2 special guests tonight. All right. So this is, again, Pastor Will and
Amy.
Chris.
with the world famous Will and...
Jimmy
Jimmy Show.
Hey, there we go. Okay. I believe that Amy has been with us once or twice before on the Will and Jimmy Show, but it's your first time, right?
It is my first time.
All right. And they came by today as we were getting ready to set up the cameras, and both decided to come and do a little bit of hanging out at the church and volunteering, and did not know that you're going to be discovered today.
Not today. We didn't
Yeah.
know.
But you just never know when is the day of discovery.
Yeah.
But this is Amy Bruner and Christopher Bruner. And we're so thankful for this couple here at Shades of Grace. And we'd like to just know a little bit about you. You all have been coming here how long now?
I think January will be 3 years.
3 years, all right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we're so grateful that you're a part of our congregation here. And you do lots of things in volunteering. Tell us just a little bit, if you will. Both of you are from, how did you meet? Just give us a little bit of that.
So we're both from Hawkins County, Surgonsville, and if you ever
Surgeonsville.
right?
Is that, you ever heard it called that?
Yeah, all the time.
When I first moved here, it
Is that
was
what you called it?
Surgeonsville.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
okay.
the time.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So Amy and my brother were friends, and she come over for he was in town for something, and she come over for a cookout, and I don't know, the rest is history. Really, that was how long ago has that been? 13 years ago, almost.
Yeah.
Almost 13 years ago. So
Alright.
just hung out from a cookout, and I messaged her the next day and was like, "How's Amy?" And then we started hanging out on April Fool's Day of all days.
Oh, my,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And we've been hanging out ever
That's
since.
a sure
so
sign it's going to work,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
All right.
It's a true story too. And
Okay.
then we also turned around the next year and got married unintentionally on May the 4th, so Star Wars Day.
Okay. May the 4th be with you.
Right,
Yes.
right. So
Unless it's a 5th.
that's true.
Okay. So you all are both from Hawkins County. Did you know each other in school or anything, or you came together for the cookout for the first time?
I
We
knew. Yeah, we
met prior
yeah.
to then. I'd been, I was thinking the other day, I've been friends with your brother for like 20 years at this point.
I
So
believe it.
I worked at a restaurant, and so Chris would come in and eat occasionally, but he was not somebody that I knew or
Okay.
was friends with or anything. No.
All right. So it was just in the cards that you all
Just in
would
the
meet,
cards.
and
Yeah.
I look at you and I think you seem to be really a compatible couple.
Yeah.
I
I think
mean,
so.
I watch your Facebook pages, your social things, and both of you like sports.
Yeah.
Both of you like concerts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Do you like the same kind of music?
Some
Or
of
you
it,
learn to
yeah. We've
come in
learned
the
to
middle,
we've learned to come
compromise.
in the
It,
middle.
took, it
yeah.
took some time to
Okay.
get Amy converted over to like and rock music.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So, but I mean, we've listened to a whole plethora of concerts this year,
I
all
believe
different genres, and
Yeah.
there's nothing like music.
Well, what was it, about 6 weeks ago you covered how many states and Canada?
Yeah, it was. I don't know how many states, about 7, I think.
Seven
And
or
went to
eight or something
Canada
like
for the
that.
first time. Yeah. We love to travel and go and see and do as much as we can.
Well,
so
the
we're
next time you
grateful.
go to Canada, you were within an hour of Charlotte's
I didn't
place.
know that, Charlotte.
At the time,
if I knew.
Yeah, at the time, she was probably in the process of moving.
Okay.
She had been in Sudbury, Ontario,
Yeah.
but moved out to Milton. Hey, Charlotte, how are you? We're glad you're watching us, and I know you are,
Oh.
okay? But yeah, you'd be really close.
Yeah. Charlotte, we were in Niagara Falls, so I really hate that we didn't that we didn't know, but
And
we'll know
then
if we go
Penny
back.
lives not too far away from there. So Charlotte and Penny are two Canadian virtual members who are very, very faithful. Yeah, so we welcome you all again tonight. So back to Christopher and Amy. When did you all graduate high school?
It's been a long time. It's been a few years. So he was 02 and I was 07. So
Okay.
yeah, we
Been a couple days.
it's funny how life works, right? Like I graduated high school and I had a plan for my life. I went to college, I got a degree in what I thought I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And actually right before Chris and I met, I was interviewing for the job that I thought was my job. Like I thought, this is what I want to do with my life. I don't this is it. It would have taken me across the country. The closest I would have been to home would have been Memphis, and that was
And that's a whole world away.
right. I mean, that's 8 hours, right? And that was the closest I could have gone anywhere across the country. So anyway, it is. I love to tell this story because it's funny looking back. I interviewed for this job the day before the cookout, and I was ready. Like I was like, I nailed this interview. I am going. I got this job. Like I am moving away and doing all these things. And so we had this cookout that he talked about, and we, he started messaging me. We hung out a couple times, and I was very like, hey, I just interviewed for this job. I think I won't be moving. Like, and something shifted, pretty early on. I remember telling my mom, like, we'd been hanging out like a month, and I was like, Mom, I think I'm gonna marry this guy. Like, I think this is the guy. Like,
Wow.
yeah, it was quick. But anyway, I got that, no, you didn't get this job. And I thought I would be devastated because it's what I thought I wanted. And like, you talk about peace.
You were relieved.
Yeah, I just knew, right? And it's incredible the twists and turns that our lives have taken since that point. I'm not in that field at all in my career, and but I couldn't be more grateful for the path and all the places that have led to where we are today. So
Well, great.
yeah,
Well, in the Methodist tradition and in the Christian tradition, there is a term called prevenient grace. And we have justifying grace, which means what we call salvation, when we choose to follow the Lord and make a profession in that way. But then we have, that's called justification, or justifying grace. And then we have prevenient grace, which is when God is going ahead of us, sometimes for years, sometimes for days, months, preparing a path for us that we're totally unaware of.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of that as you were sharing your story, that is a good illustration of my understanding of prevenient grace. Because God always goes ahead. And I'm so glad, because if he left it up to me to wander my own path, I'd probably be at the
So
bottom of
messed
Niagara
up.
Falls.
Yep.
I'd be swimming upstream from the Maid of the Mist, never reaching the top.
Yep.
But anyway, so both of y'all graduated from which school?
And we went to Volunteer. So,
Volunteer
yeah.
High School, okay. Is that where Landon went?
Mm-hmm.
Did you all know
Yeah.
Landon before?
I did not.
No?
He's a little
Because-
bit younger than me.
Because he's from Surgeonsville too.
He is. Yeah, he is.
And you know who else is from Surgeonsville? You know Susie Henkel, who is from here that
Yeah.
we see a lot. She lives in Surgeonsville.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if we know
And
the same circles.
yeah, and there's a good bit of trivia about her. Susie, if you're watching this, I'm going to spill some of your secrets here. She has lived in Canada,
Okay.
and she also is a certified pilot.
Oh, wow.
Very cool.
so
Nice.
it's interesting what you get to know about members of your congregation
Absolutely.
and friends, all from Surgeonsville, Tennessee.
There's a tiny airport in Surreal.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
do you ever fly out of there?
Yeah,
Is
let
that-
us know there, Susie.
Yeah.
If you're watching this tonight or later, let us know. Susie's been a really, really faithful volunteer here over the years, and we love her. Okay, so y'all went to Volunteer High School, and that, I guess, gets its name because Tennessee is known as the
The volunteer state.
Volunteer State. Okay, are you the history buff in the family?
Probably.
Let
more
us
out
know
of the
just
two.
a little bit about what that means, the volunteer state. I know a little bit about it, but I don't know Tennessee history like I know some of the other states. So, in a nutshell, without all the fancy stuff, just tell us how that came about.
I mean, I think, if I'm not
That's all
mistaken,
right. Thinking
I
is
think,
good enough.
That's right. I think it was it with the Alamo? Is that what it
I
was?
think so.
And everybody wanted to volunteer to go and defend. So I think that's what it was from. But
Okay.
Remember, we said we've been out of school a while.
it's been a couple of days.
So everybody's wanting to volunteer to go and fight there.
I believe so. That's
Okay.
what it was.
All right. And at one time, I read or heard that this little area was not known as Northeast Tennessee. Do you know what it was called?
It was the state of Franklin.
State of
right?
Franklin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, when you go to Johnson City, the exit you take is what?
State of Franklin. Yeah.
Yeah. And I always wondered about that when I first moved here. You know, that's kind of an interesting title for a highway, but State of Franklin. Actually, that area may be between Asheville or somewhere in the North Carolina mountains and here, and just this little small area was actually going to be a state.
That's cool. I
And
did
it's
not
going to
know
be
that.
called Franklin. But I guess time and changes did away with all of that, and it became part of the volunteer state.
Yeah.
So there's your history lesson for tonight. And any of y'all can do any better, please let me know, and we'll bring you on the Will and Jimmy show and let you really teach us. Now, when it comes to grammar, you know who we got to get, right?
I gotta get Lloyd, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Got to get the captain,
Yeah.
Lloyd. Yeah, he's our, would we say grammarian? Is that a proper word?
We'll go with it.
We'll go with it. Is that good, Lloyd? Are you a grammarian? No, I'm a centurion. Okay. Anyway, it's just really a very eclectic mix of folks that the Lord has put together here
Yeah.
at Shades of Grace on any particular day. We have different volunteers showing up, and today we have friends from St. Dominic's Catholic Church working in the closet along with Nancy and Lisa. We have a new couple, Art and Barbara Duvall, who we met recently. And they're not longtime residents of Kingsport, but have lived here, I think, 5 years or so. And they began watching us online and decided to come and do some volunteer work. So they're here today. And Ralph is at the door. And let's see who else we have in the building. Mikey just came in. Steve is here. It's just an interesting mix of people on any given day, and it's never exactly the same.
It's all right.
I love it that way, don't you?
It's good. Yeah.
So tell me, and both of you will probably have different answers, but they'll all probably come together in a beautiful answer. But let's go with Amy first. What brought you all to Shades of Grace? How did you, I'm always trying to get the word out by social media, inviting people to the storefront church. And I'm always interested to find out how people heard about this for the first time or what brought you here.
Yeah, so my journey to Shades of Grace is a little bit longer probably than Chris's in that I met you years ago. I don't know if I've told you this or if you remember it, but I was friends with Matt and Leona Smith.
Oh, okay.
I worked
yes.
with Leona
hey,
at Girls
Leona,
Inc. for
right.
years. And so she invited me to the church that you pastored,
Yes.
and the name has left me. But
Salem.
Yes. So
yes.
I went with them one weekend and loved it. Had a great time. And so obviously she had shared with me years ago about Shades of Grace starting up, and so
Okay.
I followed the Facebook page then, and we had stopped by a couple of times, dropped some things off like over the years, but it was never like we were never involved. It was never something that we
Right.
we came in
Just stop and
did.
go.
Just stop and go, right? So.
Stop and drop.
Yeah, so Chris and I had actually, we'd been out of church for a while. There were, life things. And one of my Facebook friends just kept sharing stuff that was going on at Shades.
Right.
And I followed the page, so I see it anyway, but then I see her sharing and she's adding, some commentary or some things about it.
Was she someone who attended here?
Teresa. It's Teresa.
Oh, Teresa, all good.
Yeah.
Okay, God
Yeah.
bless you, Teresa.
Yeah.
We're praying for you still, don't ever forget.
So yes, Teresa, and we've talked about this, but thank you for sharing. But she would share and she would add, commentary. And
Yeah.
so, like I said, we've been out of church for several months. And Chris and I were talking one day, and I was like, man, I want to get back in church. I love being in church. I've always loved being in church. And I said, I keep seeing this stuff about this place called Shades of Grace. Like, I know a little bit about them, not a whole lot about them, but I see what they're sharing, what they're doing, and this person that I know and trust is sharing about it. Like, let's go see what's going on. And so we came one Saturday, January of, I guess it was 23, right? 73
so,
years,
yeah.
26, yeah. And we sat, kind of off to ourselves, and I just remember just crying the whole service. I was like, if any of these people look at me, they're going to think I've lost my mind. But, like, I had not felt peace like that anywhere in years. And so I knew that Saturday that I was home, that this was going to be where we were going to be. And we were out of town the next weekend, and so we couldn't wait to get back the following, and been stuck with us ever
All right.
since.
Well, thank you for sharing that bit about Leona and Matt,
Yeah.
because she went through a real journey of her own
She did.
while I was there with them.
Yeah.
And I just saw some pictures posted yesterday. I think they just
Beautiful
had their
family.
anniversary, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so.
And they're living in Georgia. Forgot the name of it, but on the Alabama border, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're wonderful people, and I love them and their family. So, do you concur with everything she just said? You want to add something to that?
That's pretty much what I followed Shades too on Facebook throughout the years. I don't know why, just one of those things, I guess. But my bringing up, in my family, we wasn't ever a church going family,
right.
so I was never made go to church throughout my younger years or throughout any time really living at home. And I'd been to various churches throughout my life, the Baptist churches, Catholic churches, Methodist church. I've been to all of them, and this was something I just had, just went with friends and went to a Pentecostal church for a while, and then me and Amy went to a couple different churches, and then like she said, life happens, thoughts and opinions and how you think about things change as you get older, and
Right.
She wanted to get back in church. I was, to be honest with you, done going to church. I believed and still do believe and have been saved.
You were a list among the duns.
Right, I was just done with it because it's a lot of times of man.
Right.
So, and I was just done with it. But we come to Shades, and this is where we're going to go to church. And
All
I
right.
told him, yes, if we're not going to Shades, I'm just not going. So, I'm going to go here.
All
And the way the United Methodist Church believes, we align with a lot of those thoughts in ourselves and wanting to do for people, and then
Social justice.
right,
Yeah.
do like what Shades does with the mission here of, doing to the least of these. So if
Right.
you're doing to the least, and then what else are you to ask for?
Right.
So that's what we think, and we love to come here and help Jimmy with the slides on Saturday for
Right.
church. So
Yeah,
by a little bit I do.
When we talk about Jimmy and Christopher in the upper room is above the studio, but this is Christopher.
Yep.
Sometimes I call him different names.
Sometimes it's Anthony. Sometimes it ends up in the paper that way.
But one thing I want to appreciate you for is on your social media posts, you keep it so scriptural. You're always sharing an uplifting verse for the day, and I look forward to those. You really put on some good things there.
I try to. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's coming straight from the Bible.
Right.
So
Mhm.
I mean, that's the the truth, and it's a lot of good stuff. So.
Right. Well, we're really grateful for that. Now let's see, what else are we going to talk about today? So let's ask Amy again, what are some of the favorite things about Shades that, if you were to invite your friends, and I know you do, I know you've invited lots of people, what are some of the highlights that you would emphasize? If someone is viewing this now, either tonight when it's airing or maybe weeks down the road in our archives, and they're looking for a church, what are some of the things that you would tell them
So
to
how
try?
long we got? Like,
Hey, we're watching the clock.
Um, Everything about Shades of Grace is so different from any church I've ever been a part of in the very best way, in that, yes, we are absolutely helping folks take care of the spiritual, make sure they have a relationship with Christ and praying and, everything, that the Bible talks about spiritually. But this church is also doing things for the physical today to care for the last, the least, the lost, and the lonely. The Bible talks about when I was naked, you clothed me. When I was hungry, you fed me. I have never seen that in action anywhere else as much as I do at Shades. Okay. There's so much ministry here, helping people resolve the things that need to be resolved today. There's so much grace. There's so much peace, and so much kindness. And I think one of the things that I have told you're right, I've invited a lot of people, that I always tell my friends is that this is a church for everyone, period. There's no rules, there's no regulations on it. Y'all can't see me, I'm sitting here in ripped jeans and like a t-shirt. Like, I don't have to put on a show or pretend to be someone I'm not, because Christ accepts me as I am. Yeah. This church accepts me as I am, and we come in here and we do the messy together. And it's beautiful, and I cannot recommend it enough. Please come join us.
Please,
we love it here.
So, all right, that's a wonderful endorsement. Okay, let's hear your.
No, I I agree with Amy. It's, if I'm going to invite somebody, it's just like Amy said. This is a church for everybody. Come as you are, and I know a lot of churches say come as you are, but if you've been out in the world, that's not true. So, right. I know Shades faces that, that push some from the community, some too, with just whoever's coming here, right. Wherever their background is, but it doesn't, you're just welcome here. You don't have to put on a facade. Right. And one of the things that I've really enjoyed even about your preaching, Will, and I'm going to different churches throughout the years, is I don't feel like when I come here I'm going to have rhetoric shoved down my throat to be able to, I've got to get up there and make sure that I'm saved. And
the message is Jesus.
Right.
Consistently.
It's right. Yeah. So it's, just like Amy said, it's the message of Jesus. We're here to support you, and whatever that is, you don't have to put on a show. You don't have to put on a facade. I come in and I got shorts on now, so one thing I've always been adamant about, even going to other churches, is one of the things I've told Amy too, because she's been to some of these legalistic churches, and I'm not dressing up to come to church. And so, and I want to, especially being upstairs with Jimmy. I don't know, may not everybody sees me or knows who I am, but upstairs doing something during the church service, and I'm representing Shades. I want, I don't want to make somebody else feel that they're out of place. So I want to dress casually and be casual and be inviting, but just like I said, I've told everybody's welcome here. Everybody, even if you're LGBTQ, I said there's rainbows on the doors. We don't care who you are. Just come. This is a safe place. Yes, it is. And safe space. It's I couldn't recommend it any other place.
I think, Will, something you've said so often is Methodists talk about love. You've heard Methodists talk about love too much, and you're just going to keep talking about love till we get it right. And that, I think that embodies Shades. I think that this is a church who loves and who gives and who shows grace and, loves everyone that comes to that door.
And therefore we don't need any labels.
And there's no labels.
No labels.
There's no labels.
No labels.
Yeah.
It's the best part.
I was speaking a couple of days ago at a group, and I told the people how we dress casual and dress down. And anymore, that's me. If you see me out and I'm wearing a suit, you better know that there's something really special. Because this is me every day. But I made the comment that I do have a beautiful black robe. I have a white robe. I have the stoles, everything that goes along with being an ordained United Methodist pastor. But I never wear it because a lot of our folks here, and I told someone probably up to 30% of our congregation in some way is from the streets or have very familiar visits to the jail and to the courtroom. And the only robe that they might see is on a judge in a courtroom. And that doesn't always leave you feeling pretty good if you're in their shoes. So I don't want to do anything that's going to make the folks feel intimidated or think that, there's a bit of judgment here, because there's not.
And I think that brings up another point that I didn't talk about, is the intentionality of the church to be welcome.
Right.
I've never thought of a robe and thought of a judge.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in churches where the pastors
Right.
wear robes, and but I've also not had that life experience. And
Right.
I love that you are intentional in thinking about, how is someone going to perceive this, and how can I make someone welcome here?
Right.
And that thought, it changes everything, right? Like it goes back to, this church is for all. Please be here. Like, we are intentionally trying to show you that you are welcome, you are loved.
Absolutely.
Christ loves you, and we want to help you make a difference in your life for the kingdom of God and also for today.
Yes. All right. That's great. Man, can you believe 25 minutes have already
I
passed?
can't. No.
And when we get in here, it's like, woo!
yeah.
Flies, don't
Where did it go?
Yeah. But anything else you want to say, Chris?
I just enjoy coming here. So I look forward to Saturday mornings every week, and it was not like that for a long time going to church. Like I said earlier, I just didn't want to go. I was done going.
Right.
I don't know, just life changed, and we got out of going. Like I said, never stopped believing
Right.
in anything. It
Yeah.
was just when it was of man, it just felt like I just do it at home myself. Then.
Right.
But
Well, one of the largest categories now in Christendom, in statistics of the United States in particular, of people who are in church or who are actively involved in a house of worship, or what they recommend or what they profess, the number one list is NONE, the nuns.
mm-hmm.
That means, like you say, we're done. The nuns are nuns.
Right. Right.
They probably grew up in church. They know the scriptures. They know the songs.
Yep.
They know all the rhetoric. They know the traditions. But what they see the church doing and preaching doesn't add up to what they see going on in the world.
Right.
Perfect
Right.
way to say that.
That is
So
exactly right.
they just say, I'm for none of it, and I'm done with it.
Yeah.
We'll have to
Yeah.
give that to Oscar. I bet he can do a
Write us
pretty
a
good
song,
song.
Oscar,
The
yeah.
nuns and the duns.
Yeah.
All right. I believe that would. Hey, I may work on
There's
that.
your sermon.
There you
Look
go.
at you.
No,
The
that's,
nuns and the duns.
that's
Yeah.
very true. You said
Yeah.
a lot of social media
Yeah.
out there is, we grew up in church. You've taught me to love people. You've
Right.
taught me all of these things, but now you don't show it.
Right,
And now
exactly.
it's something radical to care about people,
Right.
and it's really
Yeah.
not. So, and just come to Shades and learn. If you think you can just be out on the street and just go get a job and all your problems are fixed, come here, and I'm sure Pastor Will and
Absolutely.
Jimmy can show you. You just walk in here and you can.
Yes.
Your opinions were changed. Even mine and Amy's, even though we were open to learning and wanting to know what we do here.
There's so much I didn't know.
Right, you just don't know until you're
you're
here.
involved, until you're
Right.
here.
Right.
Life
Changes.
is hard.
It is.
Yeah.
There's so many different facets and things that people deal with that you just have no idea until you're in the weeds with them and
Right.
walking through it with them.
Absolutely.
Come to Shades, y'all.
Come on out and join
Come on.
us. And, I do want it to go on record that, yes, if you're watching this, we are a church for all people.
Mm-hmm.
One of the frequently asked questions to me, either in private Facebook messages or in person, is, can I come to Shades of Grace?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. But somehow we've gotten the idea in the community that we are only a church for the unhoused community,
Right.
and that's not true. We don't like labels, but we just love people, and whoever you are, whatever status of life that you are in or where you come from, just come on out. Take Chris's advice. Just come out, come and see.
Just come and see.
There's one verse in the New Testament when Jesus is calling someone, and then that little phrase comes up, come and see.
Yep.
This person said, I've met Jesus, I've seen Jesus, but for me to tell you, you're just going to have to come and see.
Mhm.
And then that song that And I'm closing with this. We're coming up on the 30-minute point. That Quinn sang on Saturday. That's who Jesus is.
Yep.
With all the people that the world rejects and despises. And if you feel lonely, despised, rejected, and outcast, just come on to Shades of Grace. I promise you will be loved and you will be welcome in Jesus' name. So good night, everybody. Thank you. And thanks for joining us here tonight on the world famous
Will
and
Jimmy Show.
now do it with enthusiasm. The Will and
Jimmy Show.
Yay. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.